Happy Friday, y'all. Sports with Balls. Whoa, my voice just cracked. Happy Friday. It's the weekend, baby. Yeah. Happy Friday. Welcome in to Sports with Balls. I am your host, Jeff Michael, as always. Every single day. What a show. What a show. Love doing this show. Episode 256. Man, that's insane. That is insane. But welcome into the show. What we got going on today is absolutely a beautiful day here in Houston, Texas. Wherever you are, hope you're having a good day. November the 17th. All right, guys. It's National You Know What Day. National what day? 17th. November the 17th. National Testosterone Awareness Day. Take that for whatever you want it to. National Unfriend Day. I may have to do that to a couple of y'all today. Just kidding. Just kidding. Go follow Sports with Balls on all your social media outlets. I will not unfriend you. But it is National Unfriend Day. International Students Day. Baklava Day. I don't mind baklava. It's not bad. National Hiking Day. So wherever you're listening, get outside. If it's a gorgeous day, go for a hike. What else we got? Zinfandel. Oh, man. That was a nightmare for a bunch of us when we were kids. What else? Danny DeVito's birthday. So, yeah, that's about it. So go take a hike, drink a glass of Zinfandel, and eat some baklava and unfriend some people. There you go. And watch your testosterone. So happy Friday, November the 17th. This is Sports with Balls. I'm Jeff Michael. Let's get to it, man. Call the show 832-291-1112 if you're watching live on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, wherever you're watching live, give me a call if you want to get in the show. 832-291-1112. Thursday night football. We're going to get into injuries. Ooh, big ones too, man. Wow. Today's show brought to you by Christian's Tailgate. Go to christianstailgate.com. This place is the spot to watch sporting events here in the Houston, Texas area. Soon to be expanding. So hopefully coming to a city near you. Christian's Tailgate. I mean, dude, award-winning hamburgers, award-winning food in general. Drink specials, Bill's Mafia Bar. There's 5 locations here in Houston. So just go to christianstailgate.com. Get to one ASAP. Also, modernhomeimprovement.com. That's modern-homeimprovement.com. 832-930-0156. $500 off your first kitchen or bathroom remodel when you mention Sports with Balls. That's a hell of a deal. Go check them out. That's modern-homeimprovement.com. All right, so we mentioned Thursday night football. The big injuries. We'll talk about that. What else we got going on today? NFL Sunday games are okay. We'll get into the Sunday's game. We got parlay of the day coming out. Listen, it's Friday, so I'll talk about where you want to be. Give you 3 or 4 spots this weekend. They're going to be fun. A fun city to be at. Fun atmosphere. MLB handing out some more hardware. The MVPs were announced last night. This is a funny story, man. I saw this earlier. Joe Flacco was caught boarding a plane. A passenger caught a picture of him boarding a plane to Cleveland. That's right, folks. Cleveland. Joe Flacco will be working out for the Cleveland Browns in the next couple days. Does Super Bowl winning quarterback Joe Flacco, has he still got it in him? Can Joe still throw? Oof. Deshaun Watson obviously out for the season. I'm not really sure what's going on with PJ Walker, but Cleveland wants to, I guess, have maybe Joe's a backup. Look, backup quarterback right now in the NFL is a great job. By the way, speaking of backup quarterbacks in the NFL, what's the deal with all these backup quarterbacks now? It's guys we've never ever heard of. It used to be backup quarterbacks were guys that were pretty damn good. Now it is like guys that weren't even drafted are backup quarterbacks. People we've never heard of or for sure don't remember in college. A backup quarterback position in the NFL now is just awkward. It's sort of like a lot of these teams are thinking, if my starter goes down, the season's over anyways, let's go for a draft pick. Backup quarterbacks right now in the NFL, just it's awkward. It's really awkward. We'll see how Joe Flacco works out in Cleveland. He's heading there right now. So I saw a picture early this morning. Somebody posted him getting on a plane heading for Cleveland. And, of course, it all spiraled downhill from there. And, of course, we find out now Joe Flacco's heading to Cleveland to work out with them. But speaking of AFC teams and what transpired last night and injuries, because we saw Lamar Jackson limp around a few times last night, and it's getting to that point of the season. Lamar Jackson cannot run the ball like he did last night. He will get hurt. That hip tackle thing, what happened to Mark Andrews last night, absolutely devastating for the Baltimore Ravens. I know they won the game 34-20, but look, losing Mark Andrews, look, are they going to make the playoffs? Probably. Will they get anywhere without Mark Andrews? Nope. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Mark Andrews is the main target of that offense. I mean, by far, it's not even close. So Mark Andrews is a massive loss. Now you're putting more pressure on Lamar Jackson and his legs. It's a bad recipe in Baltimore to have Lamar Jackson not have his number one target, Mark Andrews, and to run the ball. We saw last night, he got dinged up. And that team is just built around Lamar. It doesn't matter who you bring in. It's not the same. It's not the same at all in Baltimore. That offense is geared. It's one of the only offenses in the entire NFL that if the quarterback isn't present, it's not a plug-and-play offense. It's not San Francisco. It's not the Detroit. It's not a bunch of these offenses. Baltimore is not a plug-and-play offense. It is geared around Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson only. Now you lose Mark Andrews. Now he's got to turn into more of an accurate passer. This is going to be interesting. Interesting next few weeks because Mark Andrews is out for the season. We're not exactly sure what happened, but his ankle is fibia. I don't know, but he's out for the season already. So that means something bad happened. Trust me, it hurts me. I had him in my fantasy. Absolutely sucks. So we'll see what Lamar Jackson can do now. It's going to be really, really interesting. He had 264 and 2 touchdowns. A nice night. I guess the bigger issue was Joe Burrow on the other side. We saw him try to get back in the game and try to throw the football, and he had a wrap on that wrist going into this game anyways. And apparently he's got a sprained wrist. Now, they're saying at least 10 days to heal. So is he out 2 more games? The Bengals are 5-5. Is this season almost done for Cincinnati? What a disappointment if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Is this because the season could be over? It's almost over. If you're a Bengal fan, this hurts. This hurts bad. Joe Burrow will be out at least a game, maybe 2. We already know he's missed a bunch with his with the calf injury at the beginning of the season. Bengals are 5-5. It's a tough division. I get it that the Browns are having struggles. They're bringing in Flacco today. But, man, the Ravens have taken off. They're 8-3, look to be the winners of the division almost already. And now the Bengals have quarterback issues again. Now, you can win a couple of games in Cincinnati with a different quarterback. You can. You're not going to blow them out. It's not going to be as flashy without Joe Burrow. But the Bengals, they could maybe squeak out a few if Cleveland falls. Pittsburgh, I don't know how Pittsburgh's still winning these ball games. It's absolutely crazy what the Steelers are doing. They've been outscored. They're the only team that has a negative point differential, and they're 6-3. They've been outscored by 26 points this season. They're 6-3. The Steelers have no idea how Tomlin's doing it, but he's doing it with a mediocre quarterback room. Man. Steelers 6-3. Baltimore's now 8-3. Look to have a chokehold on, no offense, Draymond, on the AFC North. Cincinnati now struggling with quarterback issues. Cleveland obviously struggling with quarterback issues. It looks like Baltimore and Pittsburgh should have a pretty clear path to the playoffs. But we'll see. You never know. It's the NFL. Josh Dobbs, by the way, was on Cleveland's roster at the beginning of training camp. Just saying. So the Bengals lose 20-34, and we move on. No Mark Andrews, gone for the season. Joe Burrow out at least a game now. The injuries are piling up. Speaking of the Steelers and the Browns, they tee off on Sunday, 12 o'clock. That's a great football game. Right now, this is so insane. The Cleveland Browns are favored in this game on Sunday with an I don't know quarterback. That's it. That's crazy, right? We don't know who's playing for the Browns. You got P.J. Walker. Now, right now, they're going to sit here and tell you that their rookie, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, is starting for Cleveland. Joe Flacco's flying there today. P.J. Walker's still on the bench. You have Cleveland favored in this game on Sunday. It's in Cleveland, and look, it should be a fun game. You want to know what the over-under is in this game? The over-under for the Steelers-Browns game is 32.5 points, man. Holy, you know what? That's not a lot. This is the NFL. 32.5? Wow. Probably a game you're not going to want to pay attention to if you're offensive-minded. But should be look, this is a division, a huge, huge rivalry. Steelers and Browns, 32.5 over-under. Cleveland's favored by 1 point. Should be an absolute monster trenches game. So if you're into that kind of stuff, that'll be a fun game. The Bears at the Lions. Lions are favored by 7.5. I don't know why. This should be an absolute blowout. It's in Detroit. I know Justin Fields is coming back for Chicago, but man, Detroit is on a roll. I would take Detroit minus a 7.5 all day long. Bears are only 3-7. And look, guys, let's be honest. They want draft picks. They want the best draft picks they can get. They've got 2 in the top 6 right now, including maybe the number 1 pick, maybe number 2. They could end up with 2 and 3. So I don't think the Bears really want to win, but they will be starting Justin Fields. Chargers and Packers. Chargers -3, like whatever. I'm not Justin Herbert. He's a special talent. He's got special weapons, but it doesn't translate into wins. I don't know. Maybe it's Brandon Staley's fault. But with the Chargers, having an elite quarterback is not translating into wins and an elite defensive edge rusher. The Chargers are 4-5. 4-5 with Justin Herbert. That's unreal. That's unbelievable, man. This team should only have 3 losses. They're 4-5 and only favored by 3 points going into Green Bay, who's 3-6. That tells you what Vegas thinks about the Chargers. That's unreal. The Chargers are only 3-point favorites going into Lambeau. Oof, brutal. Looks to be a rainy day there too. Raiders and Dolphins. This is a crazy line, too. Miami -13. Oof. Miami -13. Now, look, I think the Raiders are going to play with some serious confidence. But who did they beat these last 2 games? Don't sit here and tell me, Raider fan, that we found our new coach. You played the Giants and the Jets. All right? Let's just be honest. You played the Giants and the Jets. I get it. You needed to make a change. Good job. I love the fact that they've got their new head coach now and they're embracing Raider Nation. Good. I think that's what they should do. Don't get hopes high when you beat the Giants and the Jets, okay, Raider Nation? Slow down, Silver and Black. Slow down. But Miami's favored by 13. That should be a blowout. This should be an absolute track meet in Miami, and Miami should blow the rocks off of the Raiders. They should. I'm not saying it will, but they should. The Dolphins are undefeated at home, by the way. And then Giants and Commanders. This line is insane. The 4-6 Washington Commanders are favored by 9 points, bro. 9 points over the Giants. I don't think Washington's had that big of a line in 5 years at least. Washington -9. Oh, Giants, man. The New York Giants. What's up, Chewy? Joining in the show. Listen, you guys that are tuning in right now, thank you for tuning into the show. Kevin Anthony, Chewy. Chewy says, I normally don't get up at this time, but I had to. Lauren Leal, look, we were going to do a live show at Christian's Tailgate yesterday, but she will be back. I think we're going to do a show this Monday. Lauren will be joining me on the show, so stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated. Go to Sports with Balls on all your social media outlets. By the way, 10,000 followers, Sports with Balls on Facebook now. Unbelievable. The content on there is fabulous. Get in there and get into some of the debates. It's fantastic, man. Go to Sports with Balls on all your social media outlets. All right, let's breeze through these Cowboys-Panthers. Cowboys minus 10.5. Take that all day long. Cowboys have been playing very good football, but they're playing very bad teams. So take it for what it is. Titans at the Jags. Had to get that shout in there, Kevin Anthony. Just a little jab, little Cowboys jab. Titans and Jaguars. Jaguars minus 7. This is a divisional matchup and a dangerous game for the Jags. They didn't play well last week. And if they drop this, the Houston Texans could creep into first place in that division. They play the Jags next week. So interesting. Very interesting game, Titans-Jaguars. Jaguars minus 7 right now. Cardinals and Texans. This game's interesting too. You've got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. And the Texans, the crazy meter couldn't be higher right now for the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud. All right, but look, Kevin Anthony just said, be cautiously optimistic about the Cowboys. Listen, Texans fan, be cautiously optimistic about them too. The Cardinals are no joke now. Connor's back. They're going to have a week, now 2 weeks of practice with Kyler Murray and James Conner. I would be careful in this game. You need to win this game, or else you're just back to 5-5, and the Jaguars still got a nice hold on the division. But if the Texans win this game and move to 6-4, they could tie up the Jags. And look, they're in a playoff spot right now. The Texans are sitting number 7 if the playoffs were to start today. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. All right, the Cardinals are 2-8, but they're not an easy 2-8 because Kyler and Connor just came back. So be careful, Texans fan. I don't know about the situation with Nico Collins. Will he be back? But the Texans have weapons. CJ Stroud's been on fire, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. If this is a shootout, it'll be fun to watch. It's in Houston, so it should be interesting. Buccaneers, 49ers. 49ers favored by 11.5. We'll see if they're hitting on all cylinders again. They were last week. Christian McCaffrey should get back in the end zone this week. And look, Buccaneer fan, can't be too upset. Baker Mayfield's playing good ball. Baker Mayfield's playing really good ball. I like it. I like what Baker's doing over there. I bet Cleveland wishes they had him back right now. Worst trade in NFL history? Maybe? Go to Sports with Balls. I posted it earlier. What the Texans have gotten from that trade from Cleveland is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, it is unbelievable. In fact, I'll read it off real quick if I can pull it up fast enough. The Houston Texans have received from the Deshaun Watson trade, with their picks, they got Kerryon Green, Will Anderson Jr., Damian Pierce, and Tank Dell. My goodness. And the Texans still have the 2024 first round and fourth round pick from the Browns. The Browns got Deshaun Watson, $230 million guaranteed, and here's what he's done. He's 60% passing percentage, completion percentage, 2,217 passing yards, 14 TDs, and 9 interceptions, and only played 50% of the games. CJ Stroud, 62%, 15 touchdowns, 2 picks, 2,600 yards. I mean, the Browns got absolutely fleeced in that trade. Houston Texans are making it count. All right, back to the Bucks and 49ers. 49ers minus 11.5. I'll probably leave that alone. I like the 49ers, but that 11.5 versus a decent Buccaneers team is tough. Jets and Bills. This is a very, very interesting game, man. Buffalo's favored by 7. Why? You just lost your offensive coordinator because Josh Allen can't stop throwing interceptions. I'm not saying Josh Allen's a bad quarterback, but I'm also not saying that he's a good quarterback. The guy throws into traffic. He does. He is the new age Brett Favre, like 100%. If you watch him play, he's just like Brett Favre. He's a gunslinger. And so Buffalo, you're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to find an offense that kind of rolls around that or find a better defense. He's a gunslinger. He is Brett Favre. He's just a 2023 version. He's going to throw to his receiver that has 3 guys on him. He's going to do it. You see it over and over and over. Bills fan, you're going to have to deal with that. You got to find a guy that can either like coordinate the offense around him or figure out a better defense. I don't know, but Josh Allen's a turnover machine. We've seen it. Look, the jury's out. There's no more, oh, he'll fix it. No, he is what he is. He's playing exactly how he's always going to play and how he always has played. You thought it was sort of a fad for a little bit. Now you're like, okay, that's just the way Josh Allen plays. Brett Favre-ish. Will he go into the Hall of Fame? Maybe, just like Brett Favre did. He may break Favre's interception record if he plays long enough. But he may win a Super Bowl. That's the thing. You don't know. He's got talent. That's for sure. He just got to figure out how to hone it in better, I guess. And unfortunately, they fired their offensive coordinator because Josh Allen kept throwing picks. Was it his fault? Was it Ken's fault? Nope. That's why Josh Allen said yesterday it was very hard for him to take. But somebody's got to take this. They're 5-5. What kind of playoffs are we going to see if Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are not in it? Interesting. Like Joe Burrow and Josh Allen out, CJ Stroud in. It's not a bad thing for the NFL, I don't think. Should be fun. Josh Allen, do they deserve to be in the playoffs? No. Joe Burrow's been hurt all season. When he's healthy, Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. It's not even a question. But he's got to be healthy. And this year, wasn't healthy. Rookie year, wasn't healthy. Now you see what's going on. The year he was healthy last year, what happened? Almost Super Bowl bound. He just has to stay healthy. Seahawks and Rams go at it, 325. Seahawks pretty good team, 6-3. They're heading towards the playoffs. Geno Smith played good last game. The Rams are still trying to figure out what's going on. I thought they were decent at the beginning of the season, but it looks like they've kind of turned it down a little bit, which is weird. And Vikings and Broncos Sunday night football. 6-4 Vikings versus the surging Broncos. This will be fun to watch. This will be really fun to watch. I want to see. This is in Denver, and Denver's favored. Denver's favored in this game. It's pretty interesting. I just want to see how Bronco fan reacts if they lose, right? So they're 4-5. They lose, they go to 4-6. But if they win, they go to 5-5. And you're going to have a really, really fired up Broncos nation on Sunday night if they win that game. Very interesting. All right, those are your games for the weekend for NFL. And look, I don't know if I'm going to put any of these on where do you want to be. I guess if I was to pick an NFL game that I wanted to watch, it would be that Steelers and Browns game. It would wanted to be at. Yeah, that's the only one really. I mean, all the other ones, they're interesting, but there's not like one that stands out like, holy, you know what? I want to be at that. Of course, Monday night, but I'll talk about that Monday. You've got the Eagles and Chiefs, and that's, of course, where you'll want to be Monday night. But, yeah, I think Steelers and Browns. That'd be a fun game, except for the fact that there's some really bad quarterback play. Defensive-wise, and that's why that game's only 32.5 over-under. That is unbelievable. I wonder if it'll dip down. No way it goes into the 20s. No way. All right, the breaking news out of today was Mark Andrews out for the season. Joe Burrow looks like may miss 2 games, maybe more. Who knows? Looks like a wrist issue, sprained wrist or something. So that's the NFL news of the day. Real quick. Well, before I get into that, this section brought to you by Modern Home Improvement and Remodeling. Go to modern-homeimprovement.com, 832-930-0156, $500 off your first kitchen and bathroom remodel. Give them a shout, 832-930-0156, or go to modern-homeimprovement.com. MLB. The Major League Baseball MVPs were announced last night, and no shocker, honestly, Shohei Ohtani, who's the free agent. He wins second MVP award, and why shouldn't he? Look, I'm not going to sit here and go over it 1,000 times. It is what it is. Shohei Ohtani's really good. And you had Ronald Acuna Jr. No shocker there. The guy was flat out unbelievable. Broke all sorts of records. So Shohei Ohtani and Ronald Acuna Jr. get the nods for MVP this year. All right, some college football games this weekend. Michigan, by the way, Jim Harbaugh went and talked to the Big Ten or had conversations with him and accepted his penalty. What is that, 6 games this year he's been suspended? I thought they were going to put up a fight. Michigan fan, Wolverine fan, I thought your guy was putting up a fight. It's not right what he's doing. He called him and said, I'm fine with it, which includes missing the Ohio State game next weekend, which is possibly the biggest game in college football all year long. And not possibly, it will be. That is, if Michigan can beat Maryland. They're favored by 19 on Saturday, which I'm pretty sure they will. But Jim Harbaugh takes the 3-game suspension. He's got 2 games left. This weekend versus Maryland and next weekend versus Ohio State. Alabama's got an easy one. Louisville's playing at Miami. That's a fun game to watch. Miami's favored in that game. Penn State, Rutgers. Man, there's really Utah, Arizona. Because we're getting down to the playoffs now. We're getting down to where you want to see top 10 matchups, and there's just not any. Georgia's playing Tennessee. Georgia's favored by 10, but Tennessee's not ranked in number 18. And then there's not another top 10 matchup, really, that's worth it. You know what? Oregon plays Arizona State. They're favored by 23. Florida State plays North Alabama. There's not even a line. So you're looking at the top 4 teams on pretty much cruise control going into Saturday. So Washington and Oregon State play, right? That's the closest thing we got, and that's Saturday night, 6:30 ABC. Oregon State's favored in this game. So this is a knockout game for Washington. They lose, they're out. That's all there is to it. They lose, they're out. They've got to stay undefeated to even have a shot to crack that top 4. Texas plays Iowa State. They should handle that game pretty easily. And that's pretty much it until next weekend. The top 4 teams are Ohio State's off, which votes well for them next week. Because, look, we're all looking forward to next week. All of us. Nobody, look, Saturday's going to be, it's interesting. Betting-wise, there's probably some good bets on here. But there's not any games that really, tweak my interest except for that Washington-Oregon State game. That's it. Everything else should be a nice, easy game. And last weekend was great games when we had no shockers. None of the top teams got blown out or even lost. So everything stayed the same. Georgia moves up into number 1. Okay. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Just stay there. But as we all know, next week is this is like a championship game without having a championship trophy. This is phenomenal next weekend. And we'll be talking about it all week. When Michigan, what do they go? Is it in Ohio? Let's see. No, it's in Michigan. Ooh, it's in the big house. 109,000 people will be screaming at that game. That's going to be a blast. All right, let's get to the parlay of the day. Brought to you by Christian's Tailgate. Go to christianstailgate.com for the location nearest you. Award-winning food, great drink specials, beer pong tournaments, trivia tournaments. It's all the sporting events. Just a phenomenal place to eat and drink some food with your friends. Go to christianstailgate.com. Parlay of the day. Guys, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays for you today. You can pick whatever you want. Parlay 2, parlay 3, parlay 4, parlay all 6. I don't care. I got 6 of them for you today. The Colorado Buffaloes play tonight, folks. Yep, that's right. There's 2 college football games tonight that are pretty fun. It should be interesting football tonight. One being the Colorado Buffaloes. They are playing Washington State. Washington State's favored by 4. So I like Colorado plus the 4 or Colorado money line. I think Colorado is finally going to put it together, and we're going to see them win a ball game tonight. It's been ugly. It's been real ugly the last 6 weeks for them. But I think Colorado might put it together and win this game versus Washington State tonight. South Florida and University of Texas San Antonio. UTSA favored by 16 points. South Florida is not too bad. UTSA is actually really good, though. But I like South Florida plus the 16. So give me Colorado money line. Give me South Florida plus the 16. And then I'm going to switch over to the NBA. I got 4 games for you tonight in the NBA. Number 1 being the New York Knicks. They're playing good basketball as of late, and they're playing the Wizards, who are playing very bad basketball. And they've got issues with their staff. We've all seen it on the sidelines. Their star players are not happy in Washington. So give me the Knicks minus the 7.5. Then I got the 76ers. Right now, it's Atlanta minus 1.5. I don't know if somebody's hurt. Let me see if somebody's injured because, man, give me the 76ers plus the 1.5 all day long. Oh, it says Embiid may be a game time decision. So just wait on that. If Embiid plays, take Philadelphia all day long. But right now, I may put in a little one just because you get points with the 76ers, who are one of the best teams in the league. Also, the Celtics, Boston Celtics playing fire basketball lately. I mean, they're just a good basketball team. Barring injury, this is NBA Finals team. Boston minus 7.5. I like that all day long. And the Denver Nuggets, 9-2, playing in New Orleans. Pelicans are on and off team. If Denver's on fire, this game may be over in the third quarter. So there's your parlays, all right? Colorado money line, South Florida plus 16 in NCAA football, both of those. Then in the NBA, the Knicks, the 76ers, the Celtics, the Nuggets. That's your parlay of the day. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sports with Balls. If you missed anything, type Sports with Balls in all your podcast arenas. It will be there. I'll have it up right when I get off. Go to modern-homeimprovement.com for all your home improvement needs, and also always christianstailgate.com. I'm Jeff Michael. Have a great weekend. See you Monday.